where Jeff Gordon started the race, 27th position, so they had to pass cars. They used a 2-tire stop on the initial caution to gain some track position. The car is pretty quick. As we know, Jeff Gordon coming into today, 15th in the points, has either got to move way up or he's got to get some wins if he's going to make the chase. Vince?
Carl Edwards, another one of those guys desperately needing a win to make the chase. He's won here a couple of times and felt like they had the car bringing here today to get it done again, but so far they've just been fighting loose all day long. They've also dodged a couple of other bullets. We've got a crash. We've got a crash. It's Kurt Busch.
Kurt Busch having a solid day until now, Alan.
Hard crash for Kurt, who had just come off the pit lane after a green flag stop.
Out a left front tire.
You heard the diagnosis.
Yeah, left front. They just changed 2 tires on that stop.
Yeah, I might want to go back and see if maybe he slid that left front getting on the pit road.
He was running 21st at the time.
Well, that's a hard crash.
Yeah.
Or destroyed.
So you see Kurt's already hung his helmet on the hook inside the car. And the steering wheel up on the dash. And the window net comes down. Watch the right side of your screen here.
Yeah, it's hard to tell from that exactly what happened, but he was definitely out of shape when he got there.
Yeah, you can see that looked like something definitely happened as he got down in. The car just turned sideways and then hard into the wall. Carrying a lot of speed over that tunnel turn and not much time to get things woed down.
All right, so let's wrap a couple of things up here before the pit road is open. Different pit schedules people have been on. Some need to pit sooner, some just were on pit road under the green. We're past halfway. There is a large blob of rain on the radar. If you're Brad Keselowski, you pit?
I almost have to. I don't know how far he can go. Oh, he almost has to make a pit stop here, but if you're sitting looking at the radar and you think it's minutes away, I mean, this is tough. This is a tough call right here.
Jimmy Johnson just off the pit lane a little bit ago. The race leader, as you see Kurt Busch walking away from that very mangled race car. And let's see what happens here.
Here comes Mark. Mark is going to make a pit stop, and Keselowski stays out. He's gambling.
Mark giving up 5th spot, Mike.
Yeah, and as we mentioned, they were hoping that the weather would have gotten here just a little bit earlier than it has. They're forced to hit pit road earlier than they would like. They'll make a 4-tire change. They were contemplating a 2-tire change, but have decided to change that 4 tires for Mark Martin. The 1 car, Jamie McMurray, also in. They'll complete a 4-tire change there as well. McMurray has not been happy with his race car all day. They'll also make an air pressure adjustment, trying to free that up just a little bit.
9 cars pit out of the 22 that are on the lead lap. The plot thickens, as do the clouds here at the Pennsylvania 400. Getting ready to restart, but for how long is the question, as that radar shows us. Dave?
And Chad Knaus checking with engineer Greg Ives right now. Chad, we all see the weather all around us. You see the radar. What's Jimmy's job on what might be a wild restart here?
Well, obviously the low Chevrolet's been running really well today. Couldn't be prouder of the way the guys have performed and what Jimmy's done. We just need to go out there. We're playing the weather card just like everybody else is. If we get out there and try to maintain the lead, you know, hopefully we have a shot at this thing. I'd like to say hi to Mr. H. He's not here with us today. Hopefully he's proud of what's going on. Hendrick cars are running great. It's unfortunate the 88 had that issue, but we'll get that sorted out.
Mr. H, they're going to try to maintain from first. They hold the cards right now. Vince?
Well, in the 5 box with crew chief Kenny Francis, certainly keeping an eye on the weather here as well. But what about the transmission? We saw Junior go out with a transmission. It seemed like Casey was maybe having some shifting issues. What's the update there?
Yeah, we think the transmission's okay. We found out what was wrong with Junior's and feel like ours is okay. He was, I think he was just feeling some ghosts or something there when he saw Junior have trouble. So hopefully all that's okay. You know, the Farmer's Chevy's been running really good. Hopefully we can get a good restart here. We struggled a bit on restarts today, but other We fortunate to get that caution and to get called back up after that little incident in the pits there. So we're kind of glad to see that. But looks like the rain's close. So, you know, hopefully our fuel will hold out till before, you know, till after it rains.
Thanks, Kenny. Al?
All right, as we get set for the restart, let's talk about a couple things. The race is scheduled for 160 laps. Just because it's going to rain, and it's going to rain, that doesn't mean the race is over. It's daylight here till about 8:12. If the rain passes, they could get the track dry and restart. But
they'll be racing like it's going to end.
Yeah.
I promise you, they're going to race like it's going to end any second on this restart.
Yeah, even though they saw it get dry in about an hour and a half or so after that last rainstorm before this race ever got started, they're assuming this is going to be it. And that's how you have to race right now. And we're going to see these drivers give everything they've got to try to take that top spot.
Jimmy Johnson and Matt Kenseth side by side on the front row. Brad Keselowski and Greg Biffle, Casey Kane and Jeff Gordon. Remember, this long straightaway and that big, crazy turn one on restarts at Pocono. Trouble! Kenseth in the wall, Biffle in the wall, Kenseth spins into the pack. Denny Hamlin.
I was wondering, going down in that corner, how close was Kenseth going to try to get over onto Jimmy Johnson to try to take advantage, get him a little bit free. Johnson got extremely loose. He didn't handle with the worst of this, and just an innocent bystander.
So the race for the lead into turn one. I believe the word I used just before the restart was crazy turn one.
Yeah, crazy. And we knew they were going to be racing like it was the last lap.
Yeah,
and it may have been, because I don't know that we'll get back under green.
And who was leading when the caution came out here? Jeff Gordon's the one that's out front right now, but we'll have to see about this.
And yes, the leader is Jeff Gordon.
Wow, are his fortunes turning here?
Wow, how big would that be? Race isn't over yet. Here's what happened. Heading off into turn one.
Jimmy got a great restart. I thought he was going to be able to get well out in front of Kenseth.
Yeah, but Kenseth got over on his quarter pound for just a second. You see Jimmy try to get away, but Kenseth had a good restart. Jimmy just got loose before he got down in there. He was just trying to drive it off in the corner and make sure that he got ahead. And he just got loose.
That's so reminiscent of what we saw at Indianapolis last Sunday. Remember, off of turn two, the guy on the bottom getting loose under the guy up front, and the guy who's running behind them ducks low and takes the lead.
Jeff Gordon said, "Thank you very much."
It worked to Jimmy Johnson's benefit last Sunday at Indy, to his detriment here at Pocono today.
Well, Keselowski, he's out of control trying to avoid him. Kenseth comes straight across the racetrack.
Tight, 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 tight. Clear low. Outside. Clear high, inside, 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 inside. Caution, caution, caution. Save gas. There was a wreck behind you. There's a wreck behind.
Plus Jimmy Johnson's hands as he gets down in the corner.
Still there. Still outside. Inside, 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 inside. Inside, inside, inside. Keep going, buddy, inside. Sorry, 48 just took me out. I mean, we went in there close, side by side, racing for the win, and just wrecked me, so sorry. Don't apologize.
And Denny Hamlin, just nowhere to go.
It's kind of 2 weeks in a row for Matt Kenseth. Indy last week and now this.
Yeah, that's got to be discouraging because he's had great cars in both races. But this had to be a really fun ride for Denny Hamlin.
Watch it, watch it. Roll the middle here, inside, inside, inside.
You don't even have time to react and get any
You're
brake
right there,
to slow
Denny.
down there. Good to see Denny okay inside the car.
Looking around saying, is anybody going to hit me now?
Yeah, physically okay. That's, yeah.
So, caution out. mayhem on the restart, and through it all, Jeff Gordon comes out with the lead.
There's a lot of
Kane comes out second. Sorry, Andy.
Yeah, there's a lot of cars that we just really don't know where they're going to line up. You see the 2 car lined up about 4th. The way I saw it, he's going to be about 9th. I think he's going to be behind the 99 of.
How long can he stay out there anyway?
That's the other
car
thing.
He has to be getting somewhere close to being out of fuel. These caution laps have helped him.
So NASCAR, when the caution flag comes out at the moment of caution, the scoring loops that they have and the timing and scoring computers freeze the field, essentially going back to the last scoring loop that the cars crossed over, and then they go back and look at the accident cars and use the video replays and so on to make sure they have everyone in the proper position at the moment of caution. And it will be double checked to make sure that everybody's where they belong.
I'm sure it's busy in race control right now trying to sort all that out.
They are saying that it's going to be, well, I'm going to wait for just a second. I was going to tell you where I thought they're putting Jimmy Johnson, but I'm going to wait till I confirm that. I believe it's going to be back around 15th or 16th or so.
Yeah, he got going. I mean, after they make contact, he's able to get back up to speed and maintain speed.
And I believe Greg Biffle is going to get put back a little bit from where he's currently riding in line also.
You gotta be kidding me. You got to be kidding me. I'm avoiding an accident, and they put me to the back, and the 48 gets the spot back? Seriously?
Sounds like he's got a question about it.
Jimmy's not getting his spot back. The call is 20-48-16. So it's going to be Logano, Johnson, then Biffle, and that'll be 13th, 14th, and 15th in line.
Well, NASCAR's still has some more things to sort out, I'm sure, here. Greg Biffle's not going to be very happy with where they put him, I'm quite certain. A lot of cleanup to get done over there, and Andy, they don't want to get it done in a hurry because there is rain coming.
Yeah, they're working as hard as they can, but
what's this always like as a crew chief and trying to talk to those officials?
Yeah, you kind of state your case, and then hopefully they rule in your favor. If they don't, you can't change their mind, I promise you.
So we're under caution for the 3rd time. The rain is back at Pocono Raceway with all kinds of stuff going on in the Pennsylvania 400 after a restart that came with rain closing in, pit strategy being played, a crash among the leaders in turn 1, now somebody else out in front, one of the contenders with a flat tire, but staying out on the racetrack because they think it's going to rain before the race restarts.
I got a flat right rear. If you can still run, stay out. If you can still go, stay out. We'll stay out till 1 to go unless it just shreds the tire right off of it.
Kenny Francis and Casey Kane.
The rain's that close. I mean, it's right at the edge of the property.
Running second. So Jeff Gordon leading. We saw just before we went to the commercial the discussion over where Greg Biffle should be placed in line. He is 15th. Right behind Jimmy Johnson, who's 14th. There's the Biff.
Pull the high side as they go down in. Running in 4th right here. See the contact with the 48-17. Biffle into the wall.
And remember all the rules about you've got to maintain your speed and all that. And there they are. Falling in right behind Joey Logano. Doc?
Well, you heard the frustration from Greg Biffle, and with the weather moving in, Matt Pusha, you've been trying to talk to the NASCAR official. Make your case. What are you telling him?
The caution come out, as long as you maintain your speed, you're supposed to get your position back or go back to last scoring loop. When the caution came out, we were in front of the 78 there, right there with the 78 at worst case scenario. But they're saying we didn't maintain speed, so we'll see what we got here. Rain's on top of us here, so probably be only a lap or 2 if they get back green before they call this thing. So once the rain gets here, I think we're done. So see what we got.
All right, Matt Pusha very frustrated, but right now Greg Biffle will stay back and restart in 15th spot.
Yeah, the only problem with that argument is if that's the case, then Jimmy Johnson still has the lead because he didn't stop. He just kept going.
Brad Keselowski didn't pit under the prior caution, Dave, and are they watching the fuel flow?
Yeah, and the weather. They're thinking it's going to get wet before he goes dry. So they last pitted on lap 64. And you see him shutting the engine off, turning it back on, saving fuel. He can go another 7 or 8 under caution as of lap 95. So that's 102 or 103. But as you mentioned, man, that rain is on top of us. So that's kind of what they're counting on.
And remember, he's got to maintain pace with the car in front of him in the caution line when he's shutting it off to save fuel.
And Casey King's still going around on that flat tire. He probably ran over something as they went back through the accident scene. And very unfortunate for them. Could turn out to be okay. We'll see what happens. Andy, I've been up here and thought it was going to rain too, and it just never did for a little bit.
And I've been here when you didn't think it was going to rain hard.
Yeah.
Well, we talked about Jeff Gordon earlier, about how much they need a win, how much bad luck they've had this year, how well they've been running in recent weeks. I don't think this would be the way they expected to get a win, but
they'll take it.
It all counts. If, and I'll capital letter, underline, and put in bold, if the race ends here.
I think they said it's raining now, and that's not saying that if it does rain here, that we won't get restarted at some point in time, so you have to worry about that. But if Jeff Gordon should get this win, how about next week at Watkins Glen, as great a record as he has there, and trying to get that second victory that he knows is pretty much going to take to get him in the chase?
It would not be the first time, and there you see the raindrops as Alan Gustafson puts the notes under cover. Wouldn't be the first time that Jeff Gordon won a race here that was shortened by rain. How about June of 2007 here at this race, where they played some really neat strategy to find a way to be in front when it counted the most. And the race never got back going after the weather hit, and Gordon wound up taking home the win.
That was Steve Letarte that engineered that magic.
Well, circumstances playing to Jeff's favor this time. Good race car, we documented that. Moved up smartly all race long and was in the top 5 when things happened in front of him.
Yeah, here's the other thing. If it goes back green, he's still got, well, probably the best car in the race right now.
Yeah, that was the thing. We really hadn't seen just how good he was. We knew he was good because he drove his way up inside the top 10, but we hadn't had a caution to really bunch it up so he could show how much he could run with the guys that had been leading.
So rain starting to fall here at the racetrack. We've been talking about it for a while. We've seen it closing on the racetrack for some time. There is going to be daylight here until pretty close to 8 o'clock Eastern time tonight. So we'll see how long NASCAR waits. But remember, once this racetrack gets really soaked,
pretty good drench in here, bud.
It's going to take a good hour and a half to 2 hours to dry it once the rain stops. So the circumstances that change the picture of this race: a restart at lap 91. Jimmy Johnson and Matt Kenseth racing for the lead. The first four cars all tangle up. And what do you know? Jeff Gordon ends up out in front. Moved up 26 positions since the start of the race. Today's Goodyear Superior performer, Jeff Gordon. Out in front when it might count the most.
Yeah, one guy we had talked about, Martin Truex Jr., who's inside that top 10 in the point standings right now, was really needing a solid effort here today. He was able to avoid all of that mayhem down there and got himself in the 3rd spot. Tony Stewart up in the 5th spot here.
And the word from NASCAR is that they will bring the cars down the pit lane this time. Shut them down and cover them up. 5 times Jeff Gordon has won a race shortened by rain.
I would be willing to bet that at least the top 4 right now would say, I'll take what I've got here in this, and let's not go back racing.
I'll go back one more. I'll go back to 5th. I bet Smoke will say it too.
All right, we will hear from but not see for the moment Jeff Gordon's crew chief Alan Gustafson. Dave,
whose birthday it is today? Are you willing to claim any of these gifts yet?
No, not yet, but certainly is a nice position to be in, right? So, no, I mean, it's not going to be over till it's over, but either way, you know, we had a really good drive-in Hunger Chevrolet, and Jeff did a great job, and we knew that restart was going to be key. Obviously, everybody did, and Jeff got a great restart, and those guys had a little bit of an issue, and maybe, don't want to be premature, but maybe we might catch a break here.
How about the way he drove through that and missed it?
I mean, I think the run was key. Obviously, he was outside of Casey. I think Casey's car was a little better than ours. at that time because we kind of came off pit road together. So him getting that restart and getting past Casey, and then the seas parted. So it just went our way. Like I said, I don't want to count our chickens before they hatch, but either way, it's a great position to be in, and really proud of the guys for battling through some tough situations to get in this position.
Remember, they currently hold the top spot, and we've talked all day about the luck they've had so far. Perhaps the wind has blown in their direction today, Alan.
We'll see. Cars being covered up. Still 61 laps to go. And the reason we didn't see Alan Gustafson there is because there is some lightning being reported in the area, and for safety, those cameras that cover pit road that have the big handheld antennas on them, we sent those guys for some cover.
I don't pay no man to the court.
Back at Pocono, let's see how our drivers are doing in AT&T's Fastest Driver Challenge. And it looks like out of the top 4 qualifiers for this race, Casey Kane is leading the pack. Remember to text FAST to 34763 to play AT&T's Fastest Driver Challenge, or visit attfastestdriver.com. You could have the chance to win 4 Gs just by playing. From a 4G, how about to JG, because we are 98 laps in at Pocono, where once again it is raining, and JG, Jeff Gordon, is out front. Dr. Jerry Punch caught up with him. Once again, you will hear from him. We won't actually see him because we had to send our camera guys with those antennas for cover because it is raining and lightning in the area. Doc?
Oh, we talked this morning before we talked on the air. Jeff and I were just visiting, and you said we had a lifetime's worth of bad luck in 1 year. And when is your luck going to change? Maybe today's the day.
Well, you know, it's never over till it's over. We've won races like this here before, and man, I tell you what, the way our year's gone, we'll definitely take it like this. Man, I've never seen the seas part quite like that before, like they did going down to 1. I got a great restart and was able to dive to the inside in front of Casey, and I saw the 48 get sideways, and that just took them all out, and I was like, wow. And then, you know, I was thinking about the restart, what we were going to do. Didn't want to have the same thing happen to us. It happened to 48, and started raining, and I tell you what, all the things that have gone wrong for us this year, I'm hoping this is the one that makes up for it all.
And if we do go back green, you got a pretty good race car.
We do. Either way, you know, we're in great shape. You know, I mean, we're good on fuel, we're good on tires, and we got a great race car. So, and clean air. We haven't even been in clean air, so we don't even know how good it might even be better out there in front.
Jeff Gordon trying to get a win, and it would be his 86th career win, still 3rd all-time in NASCAR history. Nicole?
Right now, I think he's thanking Mother Nature. This is the scene at Pocono. You can obviously see the rain, but how about the lightning in the area? Yeah. That's why we don't have our cameras out there, and we've sent our camera guys for cover. So we'll come inside the ESPN pit studio where you get the pleasure of looking at the 4 of us, Ray Abraham, Rusty Wallace, and Brad Doherty. The way that the point situation has gone all day has truly been amazing to watch how fluid it is as they run. There was a point earlier in the day when Matt Kenseth was the points leader because Dale Earnhardt Jr. had gone out. And right now, Jr. is back out in front as they run right now. But I want to point this out. Jeff Gordon, if all goes as it runs right now, the current 2nd wild card is Jeff Gordon. And here's why. Ty goes to, we were joking, the runner, but he's tied in points with Ryan Newman, but Jeff has more 5th place finishes. That's how far down they have to go to figure out who gets the 2nd wild card.
Right, top 5s. His consistency is going well. And we said just a couple weeks ago that we could be having a total different conversation about Jeff Gordon. He runs through this stretch of races very well. Whether it rains or not, he's got a good car. He moved that thing from the back of the pack to the front, could definitely win this race, but this conversation, as we said, the conversation could be change in a week or so, and it has.
Well, and it has, but I still want to see more consistent. I want to see Jeff Gordon. They have to perform going from here, even if they get the victory today based upon it being rained out. I still haven't seen the performance. I still want more, and I still think there's a hole there.
I think the thing is just amazing right now, the turn of events we've had here right now. The 88 car loses a transmission today. We think he's out. Matt Kenseth is in a horrible crash. We think he's out. Now, the 88 of Dale Earnhardt Jr. is back up leading this thing, and Matt Kenseth is up in 2nd in the points right now, like you alluded to earlier. I just cannot believe what I saw here today. I've seen some really fast cars, but I've seen some crazy events, and for those two, The 88 to 17 to be back up, it just blows me away.
So if we've seen all of that in the first 98 laps, imagine what would happen, what we would see if we saw the final 62 laps at Pocono.
I want to see it.
Here's the points as they run right now. Dale Earnhardt Jr. would be out front. That would be your top 10. As we run right now, 62 to go in Pocono. Will it stay the same or will we be rained out? We'll find out when we come back.
NASCAR Sprint Cup Series at Pocono is brought to you by The Expendables 2. Prepare to reload. In theaters everywhere August 17th. Goodyear, official tire of NASCAR. Visit Goodyear.com. And Sonic. If you like pina colada, you'll love our new Island Breeze slush. It's Tropic Cool.
Well, we're just shy of 250 miles into the Pennsylvania 400 today at Pocono Raceway in Pennsylvania, a race that started 90 minutes late after a heavy downpour that happened just as driver introductions were happening. And yes, that's a live picture. There is actually a severe thunderstorm warning, not a watch, but a warning for this area. And it is coming down right now. And booming here at the racetrack. Hope all the fans and crew members take cover and take cover quickly. A race that started out with the element of strategy being a heavy storyline and how the crazy turn one restarts from the June race might play out today. And we saw both help factor into what we've got going right now, which is a twist of plot in the late laps.
Yeah, we've seen a little bit of everything in this. We saw what we might have expected with Dale Jr. being strong early on, but we also saw something that we had kind of anticipated with engines or transmissions, with the RPMs that are being turned, with shifting all the time. And then we talked about turn one restarts, and that's really kind of what set the scene now.
Yeah, and the heat's up on these guys that want to try to make the chase with wins. And we saw that Jeff Gordon had just happened to hit it right. I mean, everybody was going for it, and we knew it was like racing on the last lap, but he went for it. Seas parted. There he is.
And as we sit here with that lightning pounding down and the rain pouring down, NASCAR has just made the race official, I am being told, and Jeff Gordon is going to get that elusive first win of this season. I don't know if you've ever, I can't recall off the top of my head this quickly, if you ever kind of stole one in the rain or by circumstances, but he's got nothing to apologize for to anybody.
No, you have to get yourself in that position. He did a great job of driving up there and get himself in position to take advantage of this. He's lost plenty this year, so it's time for him to get something good happening.
Well, everybody saw the rain coming. Everybody had access to the same data, and that's why that restart was so crazy. Everybody was going for that spot. Jeff Gordon's the one that came out with it.
We are back live at Pocono Raceway after the Pennsylvania 400 has been declared official, just shy of the 250-mile mark. 245 to be specific, and Jeff Gordon is going to pick up his first win of this season and his now all-time leading 6th here at Pocono Raceway. He has got the tricky triangle pretty well figured out.
Yeah, no doubt about that. He's won it in a lot of different ways, but probably none bigger than today.
Now, victory lane in a rain situation like this is done in an alternate manner instead of outside. They do it under the cover of one of the garage areas, and because of the lightning and so on, our technical crew is getting the hardwired cameras there instead of the wireless cameras with those big antennas that someone has to hold. Not a good idea right now, so we'll have victory lane and we'll hear more from Jeff Gordon very shortly. Final thought on all you saw today.
Well, an exciting race, a lot of different things happening, but probably the biggest thing is Jeff Gordon going from knowing that he's got to win a couple of races or thinking that, to now he's in that wild card spot. So just how quickly things can change. These next 5 are just going to be simply fun and amazing to watch.
He's still going to have to win another one, in my opinion, to make the chase, but he's got great speed. Hendrick Motorsports has found something, and we saw that today. We saw it with Jimmy. We saw it with Casey, and we saw it with Junior. All of these cars are fast, and I think that's what they've got to hang their hat on going forward. They're probably looking for that next win.
I know it sounds silly, but before you can win the second one, you got to win the first one.
Right.
And Jeff Gordon has gotten that first win today. Casey Kane, I know our post-race coverage today is going to be a little haphazard because of the weather and the circumstances and the conditions, but Casey Kane has been kind enough to join us in the ESPN pit studio. He's going to come away from this with a runner-up finish today. We'll talk with Casey about the wild finish and getting to what was the checkered flag with a flat tire. in just a moment or so. And from here we move on to Watkins Glen in the road course where Jeff Gordon and so many others have been so good. That'll be a fun race next Sunday. On to Michigan after that. New pavement there, high speeds. Then the short track at Bristol, Atlanta, where Gordon won a year ago. The race to the chase. Join us at the track.
Riding out the thunderstorm at Pocono, rain-shortened race. Casey Kane held on to finish second. Here's part of his day. Pit issues early on. One, because it was just tight quarters on pit road. The other, because there was a tire on the hose.
Yeah, left front tire got caught on the air hose, cut off the flow. That had pushed the car back. Really cost Casey a lot of time. The pits are right there, but they recovered really good. Had a good run throughout the day.
And then he was at the right place at the right time on this restart.
He was absolutely in the right place. See Jimmy Johnson get a little loose, get into Matt Kenseth, takes out the top two cars, the 2 leaders, and Casey ducks to the bottom side, gets scooch right through.
Doesn't come away unscathed though. Picked up a little bit of debris, got a right rear flat, but managed to turn that into a great finish anyway.
And as you can see, Casey Kane is with us in the pit studio. Not exactly the day you had planned for, but what does this do for your team considering how well 3 of the 4 cars did?
Well, the Hendrick Motorsports cars were really fast. The engines ran great. It was a solid day for all the cars. And Dale had a problem, but you know I screwed up on the pits. I slid through a little bit and got on top of the hose. So the guy, we couldn't use the air hose there. Slowed us up. Lost a lot of track position there. As far as positions, I think 1 or 2, but a lot of time. And after that, we were able to get back through on that restart. Jeff got a great restart, which was awesome for him and the 524 shop.
You guys, Hendrick was strong as a group. All the Hendrick cars ran good. We talked about the battle of the motor builders. Looked like all those cars were handling on the straightaway today. Good power?
Really good power. It's been great all year long, and I could really feel it today. We were getting off the corner really well and down the straightaway, so it was pretty solid.
New package or stuff you've been running?
Pretty sure it's the same thing. Nobody said anything to me, so I'd imagine it was the same.
I heard we heard Crew Chief Kenny Francis come on and talk to you about shifting. You were having some issues shifting, and he said just run a couple laps and don't shift the race car. We noticed your lap times at one time. You ran consistently about 6, 7, 8 laps. You were just blistering the field. So I'm wondering if Ray kept mentioning, is he shifting? Is he not shifting? Did you get quicker when you weren't shifting?
Actually, I slowed down. Okay. And then they said that what happened with Dale's car was nothing that could be going on with mine. So then I actually felt good about it, and I figured the shifting out again and just got confident with it. So once I did that, I started shifting again and felt really good. That's when the lap times were good. Our final stop here, we came out of the pits, and Jeff was behind me, and we were running awesome lap times. It was really fast. So I felt good about where we were. I just got too far behind. I'm a little upset with myself how I ran the race and things, but we definitely had a great Farmers Insurance Chevrolet and ended up with a pretty solid finish.
Casey, I talked to Jimmy Johnson in Indianapolis, and he told me that Kenny Francis and yourself have really been contributing to Hendrick Motorsports, the setups, and he really thinks that your team has really brought the whole team up and really helped them. It's obvious that these guys are all getting along, and you look at the finishes that Hendrick Motorsports has had. Can you really feel that inside yourself? Is there a lot of conversation on a daily basis going on with all these teams?
Well, it's good to hear Jimmy say that, because I feel like Kenny has brought a lot to the table, and Keith, our engineer. So it's really good. I'm glad Hendrick Motorsports brought us over there, because it's a strong place. But to put the things that they know with everything that Hendrick always does, and that Chad and Alan and Stevie are doing with their cars, it's just been a huge team effort, and it's nice to be part of that. But yeah, we do a little bit of what Jimmy's doing, and they try stuff, and it's worked out really well. Today we ran, kind of half of maybe what Jimmy's been doing, and it worked really well for us, than the other half of what we've been doing.
Casey, thanks for joining us in the pit studio outside of the rain. Casey is 11th in points, 57 out of 10th, but the number 1 wild card, the number 2 wild card is standing by in Pennzoil Victory Lane.
He was already out of the car, so it was just enter stage left or stage right. We really didn't know. Have you ever seen anything like this to put yourself back closer to making the chase, Jeff?
I mean, you can't ever give up. Doesn't matter where you're at. You got to just try to go out there and win races. And for all the things that have gone wrong for us this year, I still can't believe what just happened. But I think this is the one that makes up for all the ones that have gotten away. And, I'm just so proud of this team. They just never gave up. And they gave me a great race car today. I mean, to start 27 and only have 1 caution and, work our way all the way up there like that was pretty awesome, and got a great restart. and got into that inside lane ahead of Casey, and then I saw the 48 get sideways, and I don't know, somehow I just came out on the other end of it leading. So, God, I'm just so excited right now. You know, I know that you don't want to win them quite like this, but we've earned it because of all the things that we've done this year. We've been in position to win races, and we are at the right place at the right time. Finally had something go our way, and I just can't thank Drive to End Hunger and DuPont and Pepsi and Quaker State, Chevrolet, everybody. This is a great moment, and I've got both of my kids and my wife here, and that is...
And they're dry.
I don't know how they're dry. They're the only ones here that are dry, and this is like the greatest moment ever having them here.
Jeff, one more time, as you celebrate, tell us, and this, by the way, is a, let's get everybody in here. This is awesome. Jeff, what it means to you to have this 6th and now leading victory at Pocono with everybody here to see it.
Oh, my gosh. I mean, it's just an amazing day. I said to Alan Gustafson, miracles do happen because, you start to lose confidence and doubt in whether it's going to happen. Our cars have been good. Our team has been good. And, we just need some things to go our way. And boy, did they go our way today. I mean, I hate those guys, got caught up in a spin and wreck, whatever happened there. It was slick on those restarts. But I got to say hi to Rick Hendrick. I know he's not here. And now, we had a lot of pressure on us. All 4 Hendrick cars finally getting to victory lane in 1 year. That's awesome. That's been a long time coming, and I was feeling a lot of pressure because we hadn't done it yet. So this feels good, and this is that little boost that we need to go through these next 5 races. And don't count us out. Don't count us out. This is a great moment. We needed this, and it's awesome. Feels good, and we'll take it any way we can get it right now, and we're having a blast. And I'm gonna enjoy it so much with these guys. And happy birthday to Alan Gustafson. That is a birthday thing.
You got the icing too, Nicole.
By the way, Jeff Gordon.
Oh yeah, take a look at Tony Stewart. He was way in the back, moved up to 5th place. And Carl Edwards, really concerned about Carl's 7th place.
Yeah, absolutely. A good day also. Jimmy Johnson struggled a little bit at the end there, sliding on the restart, but you saw a strong race car for that 48.
Yeah, you look at some of the guys that really had trouble looking in the back at Kurt Busch, guys like that could have had a good finish, gotten a hard wreck.
Matt Kenseth, too, finishes 23rd.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. went out early with that transmission issue. He finished 32nd, but as we leave here today, he still leads the points. And there are your final 3. Racing continues in the Northeast as we head to the Finger Lakes NASCAR Nationwide Series at Watkins Glen on Saturday. Of course, we are back Sunday on ESPN. Coming up next, Sports Center. Once again, congratulations to Jeff Gordon, career win number 86. We'll see you next week.